happy day so far. I know I'm really excited to be here and share some money saving tips for college. College videos are my favorite because I feel like it is just such a cool opportunity to provide my real advice because I am in college and I'm able to share this with you all. And if you haven't seen my other college videos, make sure you check out my college playlist because I love to share my tips and experiences there. Without further ado, let's get into these money saving college tips. I have quite the list here for you guys. The first tip I want to talk about is textbooks. Textbooks obviously are so incredibly expensive, and my biggest tip regarding this is to wait to buy your textbook. I know that can feel like kind of nerve-wracking and vulnerable because what if your professor the first day of class says, okay, bring out your textbook? But 99% of the time that will never happen. Honestly, throughout my 4 semesters in college, I've probably bought 2 textbooks and I've taken lots of classes. So I think it really is smart if you just give it a couple weeks, and lots of times on ratemyprofessor.com, people will leave reviews and say if they use the textbook or not, which is super helpful. So I always check that, and sometimes I'll ask friends and classmates if they have taken this class and if they needed the textbook, and that has saved me hundreds of dollars. Seriously, hundreds of dollars. And I know for the classes that I did end up buying the textbooks for, I regretted it. I only used it a couple times. So really just be kind of wary about that. And one of my biggest pet peeves is when a professor says, oh, buy the textbook that I wrote, or buy this book that I wrote. I just think that's a little low to make your students buy the book that you wrote because you're just bringing in more income for yourself, but that's a whole other tangent. So really just kind of be wary about that, and you can even ask your professor upright, like, excuse me, professor, how many times will I actually use this textbook? Because sometimes they'll just be honest with you and say, maybe a couple times. You could probably just borrow it from a friend or just study the other stuff and maybe get 1 question wrong. I'm the type of person who would rather save money and get like 2 questions wrong on a quiz than spend the money buying a textbook. So if you're not that kind of person, maybe you should just buy a used textbook or something to save money, but I think usually they're not a necessity, 99% of the time. So again, just give it a couple weeks. Once your classes start, see if you truly need that textbook, and if not, just forego buying it. Okay, the second tip I have is when you go on campus, fill your backpack with snacks. Seriously, just put that granola bar in there, put those pretzels in there, put a banana in there, because I know whenever I'm on campus, I get hungry. I am walking around, my brain is just using all of its energy to think and get educated. So I'm just hungry, and usually the snacks on campus are a lot more expensive. In the Starbucks, the snacks there, everyone knows that's expensive. So unless you have a meal plan and you get unlimited snacks, take advantage of that. But if not, I would definitely suggest don't leave your apartment or your dorm without packing up some snacks, because you will definitely thank yourself later and your wallet will thank you as well. Okay, third tip is to always ask if there is a student discount. Seriously, it does not hurt to ask, because I've been to so many random places and they're like, yeah, actually we do offer student discounts. So if you're going to get froyo, ask if they have a student discount. If you're going to the movies, ask if they have a student discount. If you're shopping at the mall on the weekend, every store that you go to buy something, ask if they have a student discount, because you may be surprised and you may save yourself lots of money that way. Okay, oh, I kind of gave it away. The fourth tip, I am just the queen at this. So I know at my campus, University of Florida, we have tons of fun events. Tons of just like, campus-wide events for different clubs and just different holidays, or I don't know, just tons of events. And so just keep an eye out for these, because usually free food is involved, and if you go to an event with free food, that's less money you're spending on food. So seriously, just keep an eye out for flyers. Or I know at the University of Florida we have this place called Turlington Plaza where people are always handing out flyers or sharing events coming up, and usually they always advertise that they'll have free food there because they know that's how they bring people to come. So just keep an eye out for stuff like that and go and enjoy that free food, and you can always meet new people at the events and you never know what will happen. Okay, the next tip is to make your own coffee. I know Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts are just so delicious, and I think you should totally treat yourself to some Starbucks lattes and Dunkin' iced coffee sometimes. But on the daily, I think you should try to save that money. I personally love having my French press at college because I just make my coffee in the morning and it's kind of more of an experience, kind of like going to Starbucks is an experience. So maybe invest in a French press, which is actually like, you can buy one for $10, so it's not that big of an investment. And kind of like make it more fun if you kind of get bored with the Keurig or just, making a pot of coffee. And maybe that'll encourage you to like spend less money on Starbucks if you just make your own yummy, delicious coffee. Okay, the next tip I have has personally saved me tons of money, and this is subleasing. So I have lived off campus my whole college career, which has been honestly a great experience because I love to have my private space, and I've been able to have my own room every semester, which has been really awesome for doing things like this, like filming videos and stuff like that. So every single semester I've actually subleased. And if you're unfamiliar, this is when you take over someone's apartment lease. And this has really been able to help me save money because I always put a budget on what I want to spend on housing. And lots of times if some people are trying to sublease their apartment, they really just want to get rid of it, and because they're going out of town or they're going to intern or they're, not going to be at the school anymore. So they really are just desperately trying to get rid of their apartment. So lots of times you can kind of make a deal with them like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm only willing to spend like $600 a month on rent. Are you able to like spot the difference? So even if the apartment you're subleasing is more expensive out of your budget, usually the person who's subleasing will want to work with you because they really just want to fill up that spot and at least get some of the month rent that they would, be paying the full price anyways. So that has really helped me, and since this upcoming semester, I'm not planning on staying in summer, so it's really important to me to find a place that I can only rent during spring because I don't want to have to worry about paying the rent when I'm not there in summer. So I'm really just looking for subleases who will let me just lease in the spring semester so I'm not paying those gap periods when I'm not there. So if you're able to do something like that, that'll definitely save you, it could save you thousands of dollars, honestly. So I know at my school we have lots of Facebook pages that say free or for sale. We have a free or for sale Facebook page, or a sublease and off-campus living Facebook page. So really just use your Facebook search tool and try to look for those pages if you are looking to do something like this, and you can just post and see what opportunities arise. And lots of people will post if they're wanting to rent out their apartment, so that's just a really good way to find those opportunities. Okay, the next tip I have is to use campus amenities. So I feel like this is so obvious, but lots of people still don't take advantage of this. So what I mean by this is go to your campus gym. You're paying for it with your tuition. Use that up. Go to yoga class there. Don't get a separate gym membership that's not with your school because you're paying for those amenities. They're part of your tuition, and that'll save you so much money. I know Orange Theory is amazing and everyone wants to do that right now, but that costs so much money. So save that money and just enjoy the campus gyms. I know UF has an amazing gym and amazing classes, so I don't know if every school's like that, so it might be different, but just take advantage of that. And I know the University of Florida offers the Student Government Printing Lab, which I always use, and I don't have to bring a printer to school or spend money on ink or printer or paper, anything like that, because the Student Government Printing Lab provides 250 free prints per semester per student. So I'm able to just go to that lab in our on campus, and I'm able to print what I need without spending my own money on it. So really just ask your leadership or student government about that, or just do a little Google search and hopefully you can find all the amenities that are included in your tuition, and just be familiar with it and take advantage of it, because you never know how you could save money that way. Okay, the final tip is incredibly obvious, but it's just something important that I kind of want to drill in your head. You're in college and you're taking classes, and yes, there's so many fun things to do and take advantage of, but really try hard on those classes. Do your best, because you do not want to take those classes over again, because that'll cost you hundreds of dollars. I mean, every class you take is worth hundreds of dollars, so if you don't pass it, one, it's gonna waste a lot of your time, which is also precious and I think is even more valuable than money. But again, you're gonna have to pay that tuition all over again. So really take those classes seriously. I know it can be hard sometimes because there's just so many distractions and fun things in college, but take them seriously and try your best because that'll save you a whole lot of moolah in the long run. So that sums up my college saving money tips. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you found it helpful. Please let me know if you have any other requests for college advice type videos. Again, they're just so fun for me to film because it's something I love talking about because I just loved my college experience so much. So definitely let me know, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day and I'll see you soon. Bye!